Hello everyone, it's Sandra here, and this is Peekaboo. Peekaboo is at 2.0, I guess. No longer playing Peekaboo with trying to find worms in my preformed cardboard packaging that gave this bin the name, but this bin has now inherited the worms that I pulled out of my leaf mold only worm bin. Looks like they're eating the newspaper I gave them on the top. And so you see that I'm bulking them up with lots of bedding because I want this bin to build up some depth, build up some strength, get this cardboard inoculated. And because when I pulled the worms out, I wanted to save as much as the leaf mold castings as possible. So I was just pulling worms out in a bait cup, and so this bin needed all new bedding, basically, with the worms. So poor things, they didn't get a lot of their microbiome transferred over. Normally I try to do that, but that beautiful leaf mold bin that I've got, I wanted to save every last drop of those castings. And so this bin basically started much the same as my by the book bin, although it didn't start with just 125 worms. There are plenty of worms in here, plenty of them, but it did start with all new bedding. I did give it a little bit of leaf mold, not from the leaf mold bin, but right from our leaf mold pile. So it did get inoculated from that. So I shouldn't feel that sorry for it. And I am giving it more today. Now, I'm giving this bin its second taste of pumpkin today. The first taste of pumpkin I gave it, I gave it a lot of juice, thinking, wow, look at all this cardboard. And I think the bin got a little wet, which is another reason I bulked it up with a lot of bedding. The answer to most worm bin problems is carbon. You'll hear people say, what do I do? What do I do? Well, I found the answer to most problems is more carbon. So unfortunately, you see a lot of carbon in this bin. Makes it harder to spot the worms, but they're in here. And so when I fed it its first go round of pumpkin, there they are all. When I fed it its first go round of pumpkin, the bedding got a little too damp, and I sort of overwhelmed the worms. And so this time around, I'm going to give it more juicy pumpkin. There's lots of bedding in here, and I'm also inoculating it again with some leaf mold. So it's getting kind of help from both ends. It's still got a lot of this carbon left. Probably give it even a little bit more of that, and some leaf mold. Okay, so the last feeding looked like it was in the center, so I think I'll do an end feeding. Bring them down the end. I'll start with some dry carbon. This is a combination of shredded office paper and shredded cardboard. You can see that I've already used that in this bin when I thought it was too damp the last time I fed pumpkin. So that's good. So now comes the moist feeding. This is not only pumpkin, but there are some regular food scraps mixed in, which is why it's a bit darker than just pure orange. It has been, sorry about that, it has been frozen and thawed. So I'll just get the rest out of the container here. Good to the last drop. There you go, worms. So that's the juicy feeding for these worms. And then I'm going to give them their nice infusion of leaf mold. This leaf mold is from our 2021 leaf mold batch. We made up this leaf mold in October 23rd, 2021. I'll put the link to how we did it in the description. And so I'm now routinely using this leaf mold preparation in my worm bins, either as the sole bedding or as just like I've done today, just to inoculate a feeding to make the feedings go extra fast and infuse that leafy goodness into the bin. So that's it for Peekaboo today. Those worms will get through that in no time, so I may have to check in a bit less than a week, not only to make sure that is not too much moisture or too little, but probably err on the side of, if anything, it'll be too much, and also to see if they've gotten through it, whether they're hungry again for more. All right, everyone, bye for now.